قل اللهم فاطر السماوات والأرض عالم الغيب والشهادة أنت تحكم بين عبادك فيما كانوا فيه يختلفون.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. The fifth reason why we should not judge others is because we don't know their intention. We don't know why they were doing certain acts, or indeed why they were saying certain things, and what is the reason behind them saying or doing this. And the famous hadith, which is almost a landmark in this whole matter, is the hadith of Usama ibn Zayd, who is very beloved to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now he says in the hadith, which is narrated by both Imam Bukhari and Muslim, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent them on an expedition, and they managed to startle the enemy, and they caught up with them. And he said, me and another one of the Ansar, we caught up to a man, and we were about to kill him, but then he said, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. So he basically announced his Islam. Now that Ansari who was with Usama, he stopped, he didn't do anything, he left him alone, whereas Usama went ahead and killed him with his spear. Now when they got back to the Prophet ﷺ and they told him the story, the Prophet ﷺ was disappointed, and he said, Ya Usama, أقتلته بعد أن قال لا إله إلا الله. Did you kill him after he said La ilaha illallah? And the Prophet kept on repeating that, which was a sign of his disappointment. And Usama was saying, Oh Messenger of Allah, he did it because he was trying to protect himself from being killed, and he said it because he didn't want to be killed. So Usama made thought, or actually he assumed that was the intention of the person accepting Islam. But the Prophet ﷺ said, did you open up his heart and see that that was his intention? And obviously he couldn't, and he didn't. So the Prophet ﷺ admonished Usama for such an act, and Usama felt so bad that he said, I wish I hadn't become a Muslim up to that point, because when you become a Muslim, all your previous actions are forgiven. So that hadith shows that, even though outwardly, you can almost imagine this, outwardly this guy seemed like he was just saying it because he was just about to be killed, he didn't want to die. But then the Prophet ﷺ reinforces the message here that we don't know what's in his heart. You don't know what's in his heart, so you can't judge him based on what you've seen, because you don't know his intention. And similar things happen with other aspects in our lives, when we can see that people might, say things and do things, and we don't know why they are saying it. We don't consider, somebody, a lot of time now we have these charity fundraisers, these open events where people are invited to give charity, to give fi sabilillah, and you might get somebody who's invited, you get somebody who stands up and he says, I pledge £10,000, such a high pledge, and so on. Now some people might automatically think, well, he's only doing that to show off, he's showing off that he's got money and he can pledge so much. But really, how do you know his intention? His intention might be that he wants to encourage others to give good. Maybe his intention is to show that £10,000 isn't actually a large amount. We can all do it. We can all pledge this money. Could be lots of intentions. So don't judge people when you don't know their intention and their reasoning. And also you don't know why, what's the context and the reasoning behind what they're saying. And it also goes back to intention. There was a man who once said, he said, I have sailed, he's using here some metaphors, I have sailed oceans which the prophets are standing on their shores. I have sailed oceans which the prophets are standing on their shores, meaning the prophets haven't even sailed these oceans. Now somebody looking at that and judging at face value, saying, what's this guy talking about? How arrogant is he? He's saying that he's gone far into areas where even prophets have not dared to venture. So somebody looking at it from that perspective could say that this guy's arrogant, but actually when we we probe a little bit of the reasoning behind it, what actually he was saying is, he's saying that I've entered into matters which were very risky, very dangerous. The wise people, like the prophets who had intellect, they didn't venture into these areas. They kept away from them. So actually he was saying that how dumb he was, or foolish, to enter into matters where it would be better for him just to stay clear of them. See how, so, it's almost like in extremes, isn't it? One is saying that he's arrogant and the other one is saying that he's foolish. And that's because we don't know people's intentions. So be careful when you judge people, that you don't know their intentions, and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that. Assalamu alaikum.